Good evening. My name is Michael McCorquindale, and I am here going to be presenting to you my artifacts assignment for EDU 593, Gender and Educational Leadership. The artifact that I've chosen to examine is the differences between boys and girls school volleyball team uniforms. More specifically, we're going to be looking at the type of shorts that many of the middle school and high school girls teams wear, the short spandex material. But I also want to kind of draw a comparison of that to the uniforms that many of their male counterparts wear, which seem to be a lot more loose fitting and baggy as well. A little bit about myself. I'm a middle school physical education teacher within Central Alberta. I teach at a K-12 school, but I'm also the athletic director within this building. I'm responsible for organizing teams, booking referees, coaches, anything that is related to the running of our various athletic programs within our school. This also includes creating policy when issues arise, and specifically these shorts on our middle school athletes was an issue that arose a couple of years ago and we had to make a change to. I am also currently the treasurer of our middle school athletics association within my district, which is the organization responsible for policy changes, rule amendments, and anything else that pertains to our various athletic programs within our district. I'm also a former national team member in track and field, as well as a former university athlete. And I believe that those two things are important in this examination of these artifacts, because it's not just within the middle school and high school context that I see this issue of gender discrimination with regards to uniforms. I see it within our university athletics teams and the uniforms that they wear for volleyball, as well as a variety of our international competitions and some of the female teams that participate in those, and specifically beach volleyball. So as I was examining this, I looked through a bunch of different policies, rule books, not only within my district. I looked at some historical ones within my school, and I was drawn to the ASAA, the Alberta School Athletics Association, as well. Not once did I come across anything that specifically said that girls must wear a specific type of short and that boys must wear this specific type of short. It always seemed to be very, very generic, which was hopeful and promising. But then I got thinking about, well, then maybe it speaks more to society and what society's view of this is. Now, even within schools, they don't regulate what types of shorts to be worn by both boys and girls volleyball teams. But once again, the culture around girls volleyball seems to dictate that these spandex style shorts are what is the standard. I know, like I mentioned before, we had an issue surrounding this. I teach at a Christian school, and there were some issues around morality that came into it and we had to take a look at. So within our school, we implemented a rule that no student athlete will be playing in tight-fitting short spandex shorts. Although this was done to help promote more modest clothing on these young ladies. I also identify that there may be some other issues with not permitting them to wear certain types of shorts as well. As I mentioned, I was looking through the Alberta School Athletics Association, and there was nothing specific on uniform. The only rule that I could come across with that might have something to do with it was just the fact that they used Volleyball Canada's rules to govern ASAA volleyball. So I continued on my journey and pulled up Volleyball Canada's rules, and once again found it very, very generic. The equipment section of the rule book said that a player's equipment consists of a jersey, shorts, and socks, which is the uniform and sports shoes. The color and the design for the jersey, shorts, and socks must be in uniform for the entire team, except for the libero. The uniforms must be clean. Now, that section there I found quite interesting. as the jersey and the shorts and the socks must be the uniform for the entire team, which means it must all be consistent. So you couldn't have one individual who maybe was uncomfortable in wearing these short shorts wear a different type of short. So there's some issues around there, and I would like to explore that a little bit more as we progress. So if there were no rules regarding that girls, middle school and high school volleyball girls didn't have to wear spandex shorts, why is it that most school-aged girls that play volleyball are wearing these type of shorts? Well, Cornell states that the idea about gender-appropriate behaviors, and in this case dress, I guess, are constantly being circulated not only by legislators, but also by priests, parents, teachers, advertisers, retail mall owners, talk show hosts, and disc jockeys. Essentially, it's kind of being circulated by everybody, right? You look around and you see all the various advertisements for Nike and Under Armour and Reebok, and their female athletes are seen to be in their sports bras and tight-fitting shorts, and it seems to be promoting that type of dress, that if you wear this, you're going to be that much more competitive. Cornell also believes that these influences help to create gender differences by displays of exemplary masculinity and femininities. It definitely starts separating the views of what is masculine and what is feminine when you look at the different types of uniforms that you see. Even in the middle schools and the high schools, with the baggy shorts and the baggy shirts for the boys and the tight-fitting clothes and the shorts and shirts for the girls. But then as you progress and you get into the higher levels, you look at the beach volleyball for the Olympics, where the men are wearing shorts and a tank top. The women's uniforms is a bikini. And you can see how, the culture around this has started to show, young women and young men and the rest of society what it means to be a masculine volleyball player, what it means to be a feminine volleyball player. As I mentioned before, a lot of the potential influences can be media, advertising, the professional uniforms, the peer pressure. You read back to what Volleyball Canada states, that all participants must be in the same uniform. The feeling to conform to your team in order to abide by the rules is huge. That peer pressure can definitely be influential on young men and women. It also shows just the conforming to society's gender expectations, as well as a lot of the historical norms that go along with it. Now, what does that mean on the individual? Well, it can mean a variety of things. Being a high school and a middle school phys ed teacher and coach, you can see discomfort in the individuals. You can see if they are uncomfortable with jerseys or with shorts, and they can voice it in a variety of ways. Some of them, internalize it, where others are very vocal. They can be left feeling vulnerable, embarrassed, or have a low self-esteem. Occasionally they can feel sexualized, and you can understand why when you look at some of the advertisements that go along with some of the clothes that society is dictating that they wear with the volleyball uniforms. That feeling pressure to conform once again, just to be a part of that team, to be the same and have that unity within the team. And then, the potential even for the conforming to a different gender identity than your own. Perhaps one of the young women identifies as a different gender and feels extremely uncomfortable wearing these shorts. Why? Who is it that society and we, kind of get them to wear these shorts? It's a whole issue in itself. Macaulay makes mention that gender is directly tied in with social identity and social relations. We kind of talked about that previously. If girls volleyball players are expected to wear these certain shorts, it can cause conflict within an individual as they grapple with their gender identity, as well as going against the social norm. All those variety of things, peer pressure, wanting to fit in, trying to identify with, how they feel. How do they identify themselves? And then finally, although most cisgendered individuals conform to gender norms, Wallace talks about how some individuals live outside these gender norms. This may cause them to feel discriminated against as they are expected to wear a certain uniform. This isn't just tied to the girls' volleyball. I can see this happening within boys and girls phys ed at our school. I can see this happening with some of the dress code rules that are in place. And I think this is something that I hope to head back to my school with a new sense of purpose and a sense of direction to make some changes to help these individuals that may feel this discrimination based on the requirements and dress codes surrounding their birth sex. So how do we move forward? I think one of the most simple ways to combat this is to allow students to wear what is comfortable in competition. No longer have that rule where all athletes for the team must wear the same uniform. Some girls are going to be comfortable in those spandex shorts for whatever reason that may be, and that's up to them. But others are not going to, and we need to allow those students to allow and support those students to wear what they believe is comfortable. And hopefully that can just continue to empower these students and feel like they can do what they believe in and what makes them feel comfortable. We need to be able to create policy that's inclusive of all gender identities. This can be tied into that last one, but I also see the ASAA making a strong push towards this with some of their inclusive language within their policies now. We need to be aware of the imagery surrounding volleyballs. As teachers and as educators, it's important to educate our students on the impact that media can have and why they do these things, and how to discern the images and the commercials that come across and we view on a daily basis. And most importantly, it's important to be empathetic as we move forward. Take the time to listen to the individuals that are affected by this, to try and understand the struggles that they face, the pressures that they feel, and really allow each individual to have a case, to have a say case by case, so we can do what is best for that student, regardless of what the rules are. Be flexible with it. As I let you go, I want to take a couple of minutes, or a couple of seconds, just to say thank you for your time, for listening to my journey through this, and I look forward to hearing comments from you and having a conversation regarding this. Have a wonderful night.